Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Carnage, your Primitive AK here, back with another video for you guys today. Today we have some insane changes to the May 7th update, which was just added to Warzone, Cold War Warzone, whatever you want to call it. This is a brand new in-game settings update, so this is not a standalone title update like how we had for the new season, but this is a standalone in-game game settings update that just dropped in the game. And man, we have a lot of notes here, and we're going to be covering all these patch notes so you guys know exactly what's going on here. So first things first, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to try to get this video out as fast as possible so you guys know exactly what happened. So these changes are adjusted for both Rebirth Island and Verdansk as well. So first things first, the biggest change here, and well, not the biggest change, but one of the biggest changes here is that the Street Sweeper has been removed from ground loot. This includes the common variant, the uncommon variant, the rare variant, and also the epic variant, which are in supply boxes and also ground loot. So the Street Sweeper is no more ground loot Street Sweeper. This has been an absolute pain to deal with in Warzone, and I'm actually impressed and very thankful that Raven actually listened to the community here and removed this from ground loot. So great change there. However, what they did do is they add the CR-57 common variant added to ground loot, uncommon, and the rare variant were added to the supply boxes. So I'm perfectly okay with this. The CR-77 really isn't that good of a weapon, even when it was ground loot back in Season 2. But regardless, still very happy to see this, and I'm glad that they managed to fix this. So they also added some additional map changes to the Verdansk map that allowed players to reach out-of-bound areas. I didn't experience this because you guys know I usually play Rebirth mostly, but I did see videos of this where people were able to get under the map, so they did actually fix that. They also fixed the bug causing player models to initially load as low resolution at the start of a BR match. This happened quite frequently, so glad they fixed that. They also fixed the bug with the Cold War AK-47, the FARA, XM4, and RPD, where they were having their ADS move speed and firing move speed decrease with the tactical and SAS combat specified stats rather than increase. I did notice this with my XM4 gameplay, so I'm quite happy that they fixed that. They also have some balancing changes here, so we got some nice balancing changes done to the CR-56 AMAX, the FARA 83, Street Sweeper, Bullfrog, and also the PPSH. So it looks like they're basically telling us which ones got nerfed and which ones got buffed. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get through these notes for you. So CR-56 AMAX, they reduced the minimum damage decrease from 32 to 31, applies to Warzone only. And that's pretty much it. I thought they were going to do a little bit more here, maybe increase the recoil with the weapon, but they basically just nerfed the minimum damage across the board with the weapon. So basically the minimum damage is now 31 instead of 32. I believe this makes it one less shot to kill. It really doesn't mean too much of a change. You're probably not even really going to notice this, especially if you're a very accurate player. And they have some notes here talking about why they made these changes, basically saying that the CR-56 AMAX was a little bit too dominant than they'd like it to be, so their aim is to widen the selection of viable long-range assault rifles. The FARA 83 got a change to its headshot multiplier, decreased from 1.5 to 1.35, base ADS mood decrease by 7%. This thing was pretty cracked, so I'm actually happy to see the 7% change. I don't really care too much about the headshot multiplier. I think the FARA 83 will still be a very good weapon, but this will basically bring it in line a lot with a lot of the other weapons, so good change there. I'm perfectly okay with that. The shotgun Street Sweeper also, on top of it being its ground loot removed, they also nerfed the base hip fire spread. Recoil was increased, which doesn't matter on a shotgun, by the way. ADS speed was reduced slightly as well, which really doesn't matter as well. So these last two changes really doesn't mean much. The hip fire spread is what really matters most on the Street Sweeper because it's a shotgun. You're going to be in kissing range of another player, so great change that they got to nerf this one a tad bit. Your submachine guns got some changes as well. The Bullfrog, as expected, did receive a bit of a nerf. The maximum damage has been decreased from 34 to 32. I didn't even know the Bullfrog was dealing this much damage. I thought it was less, but good change there that they actually reduced that. The maximum damage at range increased by 11%. Base move speed increased by 1%, and sprint out speed increased by 13%. So this got a bit of a nerf, but also a buff at the same time. So they basically nerfed the maximum damage down to 32, and they gave it 11% more range. I personally felt this weapon already had really great range on it, but the fact that they buffed this even more is quite interesting, and I'm actually happy to see that. So we don't really have to worry about the Bullfrog nerf. This looks like it's still going to be a great weapon to use. PPSH got a nice little buff as well. The maximum damage range decreased by 4%. Open bolt delay, it decreased by 80%. So for those that are not aware, this weapon actually has a little bit of a delay when you shoot it. So they basically decreased that by 80%, so you don't really have to worry about that delay. And they also buffed the range on the PPSH. I feel like this weapon needs a bit more. I think they need to reduce the visual recoil that this weapon has, because it has like this virtual recoil where it's not actually recoiling, but the weapon seems like it is. So they actually fixed that as well. Moving on, barrels got some changes as well. The combat recon on the snipers, the bullet velocity multiplier increased by 12%. ADS idle sway multiplier decreased by 33.3%. Optics got some changes as well. On the AK-47 axial arms 3 times, the optic behavior has been improved. Thank God. Okay, the 3-time scope on the AK-47, for those that are not aware, was absolutely dreadful. I was hoping they would fix this, and I'm surprised they actually did. Moving on, some stocks got some changes as well. The Raider KGB Skeletal on assault rifles, LMGs, and shotguns and snipers got its ADS firing speed multiplier decreased by 75%. That is a huge nerf to this attachment here. I use this one a lot on assault rifles, and the ADS firing movement speed multiplier decreased by 10%. Raiders KGB Skeletal stock on the SMGs, the ADS firing was reduced by 50%. ADS move speed multiplier decreased by 10%. The SAS combat Spetsnaz stock, assault rifles, LMGs, and shotguns and snipers, ADS firing multiplier decreased by 75%. Move speed multiplier for ADS decreased by 10%. And the same goes for the SAS combat for the SMGs and the tactical stock for the assault rifles, LMGs, shotguns, and snipers. So these are some huge changes here. I did not think they were going to go balls deep with these types of changes here. These attachments got nuked, literally. These were very viable attachments that I had in all of my class setups, and these basically got nerfed into the ground. Do I agree with this change? Yes and no. It's kind of unfortunate because all the other stock attachments are kind of useless in my opinion. So this basically gives us more options to try out, but a lot of the options are terrible, which kind of sucks. But regardless, I understand why they did this. It's just, it kind of sucks. But most of all, I think most people are going to be happy mostly about the Street Sweeper being removed from ground loot. So regardless, I'm really happy to see these changes. Let me know what you guys think about the AMAX nerf and the BULLFROG nerf, and also the Street Sweeper being removed from the ground loot. I personally think that these are a lot of good changes, but I feel like the attachment changes that they made here at the bottom are just a little bit too overboard. But that's for you to decide. I'll be playing around with these probably after the stream, recording some videos, testing them out, and we'll have some AMAX gameplay as well on the following day. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you haven't already. Let's try to get 50 likes on this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's your boy Carnage, your Primitive AK, signing out. Peace out, fellas.